Indo-US relations have gone a long way. I was fortunate that I was here before the relationship transformed itself into a strategic partnership. India wasn't regarded as an important country for the first 50 years after our independence. And India was looked upon as a basket case, a black hole. Things were not going to change according to experts. The country will be mired in poverty. It's a dysfunctional democracy, all that. But we have proved to the world that our democracy is strong and robust, that India's growth has been steady. And fortunately, the US has now accepted us as a strategic partner. Having said that, we still have a long way to go in consolidating that strategic partnership. After all, it's based on common values. We have discovered shared interests. We have got a strategic bilateral partnership. But the area where we have to work closer together is in having a strategic global partnership. And this is where a new area is opening up. India's interest in the East Asia region is part of our Act East policy. America's involvement in the Indian Ocean area is part of America's interest in that region. So we look forward to a very close partnership coming up on global issues, especially in tackling issues like international terrorism, having better trade relations across the board, and so on. Well, first priority is economic growth. The fact that even though we have reduced poverty from 80% in 47 to 22% today is an impressive gain. But it still means that we have 22% of our people who are below the poverty line. So number one is we have to raise living standards and get people out of poverty, number one. Number two is social cohesion. That India had institutions like the caste system which divided people, stratified them. That has to go. The distinction between people and people within one nation is not acceptable anymore. And therefore, we are going to see a breakdown of these traditional social divisions, the economic divisions, social divisions, religious divisions, all that will have to go. The third area is we are looking forward to participating in global affairs. India was insulated for a long time, but now India wants to be among the countries that are at the high table and decide the fate of the world.
The three things that come to my mind as far as the Indian industry is concerned on India-US is defense trade first. There's been a lot of talk about co-development and co-production between India-US on defense. It delights me to see that there are a lot of positive conversations happening around co-development and co-production on defense because a lot of R&D facilities from both the sides are now in dialogue with each other to talk about how to proceed forward on India being a major defense partner for India, for US, as announced in 2016. The second thing that comes to my mind is the trade negotiations, how India is looking towards the US on supporting its membership at APEC and helping it to be a mature trade negotiator with the rest of the world. We are already in negotiations on RCEP. We've done a good job with South Korea, Japan, and Singapore, which was a good sort of learning ground for us. But looking towards US and how they can support us in our membership at APEC would be another big deal for the Indian industry. And the third thing that I look at is higher education and the number of students coming from India to the US. We just did a report on India-US relations, and one of the chapters was focusing on how just in 2015, 2016, Indian students contributed $5 billion to the American economy. Now, those students are also part of the innovation and technology startups in the Silicon Valley and Boston and New York as well. So that's something that the Indian industry is really looking forward to, supporting the innovation and technology startups from both the sides on mentoring them, getting them the funding, and scaling them up. So these are the three things that come to my mind on India-US.
Well, there are areas of difference and areas of commonality. Fortunately, we are similar economies. Our strength lies in the skills of our people. The services sector has become important both for India and the United States. And fortunately, we believe in free trade. We believe that the world should be open for every country, and no country has the right to have exclusive domain in areas which are free for the rest of the world. So we are together in this, and therefore we are trying to work out more common ground so that we can face the threats that are coming from other countries. I won't name them, but quite clearly, both India and the United States face common threats, and they are determined to face them together.